If she gave herself to him without hesitation, but made you wait endlessly, it was never about patience. It wasn't values. It wasn't boundaries. It was about one thing: how she sized you up the moment she saw you. You didn't fall short because you weren't good enough. You fell short because you were predictable. Too easy to figure out. No edge. No tension. No pull. She didn't have to wonder, she felt the answer right away. And that feeling? It quietly placed you in the wrong category. You weren't rejected because of what you said. You were dismissed because of what you carried. Your presence spoke louder than your words ever could. You walked in trying to impress. He walked in already convinced of who he was. And that difference? She noticed. This isn't about pointing fingers. This is about seeing clearly. Because no one tells you this part. You're not here to be comforted. You're here to evolve. And from now on, rejection won't sting the same. You won't see it as a defeat. You'll see it as data. Proof that something needs to shift within. If you want to be seen differently, you have to be different. Let's keep moving. Number 1, the silent filter. She doesn't need 3 dates to figure you out. No need for long talks, fancy dinners, or moonlit vibes. She senses you before you speak. Not with her eyes, but with something deeper. Instinct. Your vibe enters the room before your words do. And in less than 10 seconds, boom. She's already made the call. She doesn't analyze it. She just feels it. And just like that, you're placed. There are only 3 boxes. Box 1, the guy she hooks up with, fast, no questions asked. All thrill, no depth. Box 2, the provider. Safe, useful. There when she needs comfort, money, or ego boost. Box 3, the just a friend. Emotionally nice. Physically invisible. And here's the part that stings. You can't earn your way out. No amount of waiting, texting, complimenting, or overextending moves you up the ladder. Because this isn't based on logic, it's instinctive. Once you're boxed, you're boxed. Most men think persistence pays off. But with attraction, trying harder just makes you look like you don't get it. Once she's made up her mind, you don't become more attractive. You become background noise. Predictable. Polite. Easy to ignore. And the worst part? You thought doing everything right would change her view. It never does. Because this was never about effort. It's always been about impact. So here's the real question. Before you even said a word, which role did you silently accept? And next, we're going to talk about the one thing that separates men she craves from men she forgets. Stay with me. Number 2, raw desire versus emotional security. Lust doesn't need permission. It doesn't wait for logic or timing. She feels it, she moves. If she doesn't, no amount of kindness will flip that switch. The guy she gave herself to quickly? He didn't convince her. He didn't campaign for it. He simply was, and his presence lit a fuse she couldn't ignore. Her body said yes before her brain even caught up. But you showed up warm, safe, caring. She appreciated it, smiled at it, but she didn't want it. Because safety without that spark isn't attraction. It's comfort. And comfort doesn't keep her up at night. You did everything you were told was right. You listened. You showed up. You gave her your full heart. But you never touched the part of her that wakes up when a man walks in like fire. And that's where it all shifted, without you even realizing. Because attraction isn't built the way trust is. It's not earned through time. It strikes fast, unpredictable, electric. If that jolt never hits her early on, you'll spend months investing in something that was never even alive. Not because you lacked value, but because you never triggered that raw, instinctive pull. That's the truth no one wants to say, but now you see it clearly. And next, we break down how real masculine energy shifts the entire dynamic, without saying a word. Stay close. Number 3, the 3 types of men she encounters. In her world, there are only 3 types of men, and only one ever sets her soul on fire. Let's break it down. First, there's the wild one. Unfiltered. Bold. He doesn't try to impress, he disrupts. No sweet talk, just energy, just tension. He makes her laugh, makes her feel, makes her wonder. He walks in like a spark and flips her emotional switch. And when she feels that, she doesn't overthink. She acts. Then there's the dependable guy. Nice, gentle, predictable. He checks every box except the one that ignites her. She might talk about building a life with him, but never about losing sleep over him. There's no fire, no pull. So she waits, not because she's cautious, but because there's nothing urging her not to. And then there's the giver, the listener, the helper, the shoulder. He does everything right, except trigger desire. He becomes her emotional sponge, her safe space, but never the man she fantasizes about. And while he holds her pain, she runs to someone else for pleasure. You've ever asked yourself, why do I give so much and still get left behind? This is your answer. She didn't use you. You volunteered for a role that never included desire. There are only 3 roles, but only one ever gets past her guard. So the question isn't what you're doing. The question is, which role are you unconsciously playing? Up next, we'll talk about the shift that turns a background character into her obsession. Stay locked in. Number 4, how women actually filter men. You think it's about the height, the money, the perfect text with the perfect emoji. But here's the truth. She doesn't remember your salary, your car, or your grammar. What sticks with her is how you made her feel. The men she chooses quickly, they're not always taller, richer, or better looking. They just hit differently. They walk in carrying tension without effort. Their words have weight. Their silence, even heavier. They don't chase approval. They don't perform. And that calm unpredictability, it throws her off balance in the most magnetic way. You're out here trying to impress her mind. He's doing nothing, and still she feels him in her chest. Because that pull, it doesn't start with words. It starts in the gut. Mystery creates tension. Tension fuels curiosity. And curiosity shuts down logic. You're explaining your dreams. He's saying almost nothing. But somehow, she's already hooked. Next, we're going to talk about why giving more doesn't win her over. It just makes her feel less. Stay tuned. Number 5. Why attention, gifts, and words can backfire. If she's not into you, no amount of gifts, sweet texts, or compliments will change that. In fact, the more you give, the less she feels. Tell her she's beautiful too soon? She shrugs. Pull out your wallet early? You just became her ATM. Text her all day, every day? Now you've handed her the lead role in a story she didn't even ask to be part of. You think generosity builds attraction. It doesn't. It only exposes what's already missing. Because without desire, your kindness doesn't feel romantic. It feels transactional. And she doesn't crave deals. She craves danger. She doesn't surrender to what makes sense. She surrenders to what makes her feel. You're trying to be the stable option. But she's drawn to the man who throws her off balance. Not the guy who plans every move, but the one who can't be predicted. You're not losing because you're doing too little. You're losing because she can see you coming from a mile away. She doesn't want safe. She wants sensation. And up next, we'll break down why being ready for love is often the very thing that makes her run. Let's go deeper. Number 6. Why the nice guy gets left behind. The nice guy doesn't lose because he's kind. He loses because he's needy. He offers what no one requested. Buys affection, texts first, texts again, and quietly builds resentment when she doesn't reply. But here's the truth. She never asked for any of it. She didn't reject kindness. She rejected the pressure wrapped inside it. Because it didn't feel like care. It felt like a silent transaction. It wasn't love. It was a bargain. One she never agreed to. You weren't used. You were ignored. And still, you kept showing up hoping she'd notice. So she did what people do with convenience. She used it. She told herself you were just a friend. But real friends don't pay bills. They don't wait quietly for attention. They don't obsess in silence, hoping for their turn. You weren't a friend. You were the fallback, the safety net, the quiet place to land, but never the one she'd run to. She didn't lose respect for you because you were nice. She lost respect because you gave yourself away, over and over, without ever being asked. That's not love. That's self-betrayal dressed up as loyalty. And deep down, you knew it. Next up, we'll talk about the one shift that flips the dynamic, where you stop chasing and she starts leaning in. Stick around. Number 7. The Stoic art of flirting with little to no effort. Flirting isn't about punchlines or charm. It's not about being clever with words. It's about presence. A calm energy with just enough spark to intrigue. Speak slower. Hold her gaze just a little longer. Say less, mean more. Let silence stretch. You're not here to impress. You're here to read her. Her tone. Her posture. Her pull. You're not begging for a reaction. You're building tension. If she steps closer, offer warmth. If she pulls away, don't chase, don't flinch. Just disappear like mist. No pushback. No performance. You don't prove your worth. You let her wonder. You don't shout your value. You become a question she can't answer. And once she can't figure you out, her mind starts spinning. Her body starts listening. Because desire doesn't come from certainty. It's born in the unknown. Next, we'll dive into why withholding just enough of yourself can drive her wild, while giving too much too soon kills the spark. Stay close. Number 8. Capture her curiosity before you offer anything. Never give your time to someone who hasn't shown signs she's already intrigued. Attraction isn't earned through effort, it's sparked through impact. Let her feel you before you give her access to you. Let her wonder before you give her attention. Let her lean in before you offer your time, your money, or your heart. You're not here to chase. You're not here to audition. You are the value. Start moving like it. You weren't passed over because you lacked something. You were passed over because your energy never moved her. She gave herself to him, not because he tried hard, but because he didn't try at all. No selling, no pleasing, just presence. So, calm, grounded. And that stability? It pulled her in deeper than any words ever could. You've been showing up with effort. You showed up with essence. You've been proving yourself. You just was. And in that stillness, she collapsed into his frame. Because her energy was waiting to be anchored by something stronger. This was never about doing more. It was always about broadcasting less need, more power. No message, no move, no pickup line can override this. If she already decided you were nothing special, stop begging for attention she'll never truly give. Stop showing your worth to someone who's already blind to it. Instead, become the man whose silence makes her feel something. The kind of man who walks in, says little, and still leaves her asking, who is he really? Because she doesn't choose based on logic or lists. She chooses based on the way you affect her. Make her feel it, or fade into the background. If this brought you clarity, hit like and subscribe to be part of the movement. Tell me, what truth hit you the hardest, and how will you apply it from here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's raise a generation of men who don't chase strength, they become it. I'll see you in the next one.